Hey there, bookworms. Welcome to Pouring Over Books, a podcast where we dive into the books we love and maybe a few we didn't. I'm your host, LaShawn, and every week I'll be deep diving into what I'm reading, recommendations, and talking about all the things that we love about books. So grab your favorite coffee or tea, find a cozy spot, and let's get ready to pour over some great books together. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Pouring Over Books podcast. I am LaShawn, your host. And friends, I just got back from vacation and I feel so relaxed and so refreshed. Oh my goodness, it was perfection to be away for an entire week. We went to Disney World on the first day because we drove down. We spent the evening there, got some food, rode some rides. I finally got my child to ride Tron. I finally got to ride Tron, and I say it was worth it. It was great. I don't ever have to do it again. But it was good. And then the next day, we drove to Port Canaveral, and we got on a ship. We got on the Disney Wish, and we cruised until Friday. And it was lovely. It was great. I enjoyed every single minute of it. And now I am relaxed and refreshed. I loved it. I did a lot of reading on the cruise. I found so many good reading spots that I'll have to talk about another time. And like I said, I did a lot of reading. I managed to read and listen to a total of 4 books, I think, while on vacation. And even though I thought I was being ambitious, it really was not. I had so much time. Even though I was busy doing other things, I had time. I read on the road trip down because it took us like 6 hours to drive there. I listened on a road trip too because sometimes it was dark when we were driving. I read on the balcony of our room on the ship. I read by the pool. I read in the adults only place. I read on the beach. I read in random lounge chairs. I read in little lounges and little coffee shops. It was perfection. And to top it all off, all of my books were decent, which rarely happens, but I was so pleased. Let me tell you what I took with me. I took One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune, Summer in the City by Alex Aster, an arc of Silver Cloak by L.K. Stevenson that comes out at the end of July, the audiobook of King of Ashes by S.A. Crosby, and Ali Hazelwood's problematic summer romance, which was unexpectedly good. Let's talk about that one. I will give a full update on the others in my monthly review post at the beginning of next month. So never fear, I will talk about those because they are all worth talking about. But let's talk about problematic summer romance first. The premise. Maya Kilgore is 23 and still in the process of figuring out her life. Connor Harkness is 38 and Maya cannot stop thinking about him. It's such a cliche. It almost makes her heart implode. Older man and younger woman, successful biotech guy and struggling grad student, brother's best friend and the girl he never knew existed. As Connor loves to remind her, the power dynamic is too imbalanced. Any relationship between them would be problematic in too many ways to count. And Maya should just get over him. After all, he has made it clear that he wants her gone from his life. But not everything is as it seems, and cliches sometimes become plot twists. When Maya's older brother decides to get married in Italy, she and Connor end up stuck together in a romantic Sicilian villa for over a week. There, on the beautiful coast between ancient ruins, delicious foods, and natural caves, Maya realizes that Connor might be hiding something from her. And as the destination wedding begins to erupt out of control, guys, it really got out of control. She decides that a summer fling might be just what she needs, even if it is a problematic one. I have so many problems with that description because, okay, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, I think I talked about this book on the last podcast or maybe a podcast before that. About how I hate is a mild word too. I hate age gap romances with a passion friends. I hate them. I'm okay with them is if the female character is over 25, but when she's under 25 and he's like over 35, that's when I'm like, I went in with doubts and very, 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 very low expectations. But Ali Hazelwood and only Ali Hazelwood could make me love this book. Even though I admit I wanted to bash Connor over his head because, dude, you've been in love with her for 3 years. He was so concerned with the power imbalance and consent. And I was like, once she was over 21, dude. But also, at the same time, I appreciated that he waited until she was over 21. And also that once they got together, that's a spoiler, but not really. It's a romance novel. You knew they was gonna get together. He was all in. But my goodness, the getting there. As usual, LA Hazelwood drew me in and kept me locked in, even if I was side eyeing every single person, every single character, and the fact. And I was side eyeing the age gap the whole time because it was so obvious. But also, their love for each other was so obvious. And the fact that they were best of friends it was so obvious to everyone but Connor. Even though, no, I'll take that back. Connor knew, but Connor was trying to be noble. I gave it a 4 out of 5 despite myself because I really enjoyed every single minute of this angst filled, horribly age gap, problematic romance. It was so appropriately named. How can I put it? I think I was injecting a little bit of myself into it because my pride, guys, would never let me still want a man who both rejects me and is possessive and who keeps me on hold for 3 years, like keeps playing with my emotions. Like, sir, I get all the obstacles, but I was pissed on her behalf for most of the book. Up until I say the last 3 chapters, I was pissed on her behalf. And then we get to the end and it just moved on a very fast clip. Miss Allie made me enjoy this despite myself, like I said. And as the kids love to say, yeah, she ate. This brings me, friends, to our current topic of the day. It's going to be a water cooler moment. I had another episode already recorded and ready to go for you, but over the weekend and then this morning, I'm recording this on a Monday afternoon. Something happened in the book community that I think we need to talk about because it is the symbol of a bigger problem in our community. Ali Hazelwood, the author I was just speaking about, deleted her socials this morning after being bullied on the internet about comments she made about characters in the book The Hunger Games. Specifically, she jokingly said that she was Team Gale and thought PETA was useless. And friends, the book internet bullies proceeded to bully that poor woman so bad that she deleted all of her socials. Excuse my language, but what the fuck? I mean, Ali Hazelwood is one of the nicest authors who constantly promotes her peers, really more than she promotes herself. She uplifts small authors and author of colors. I can't tell you how many books I have learned about on her stories that even I, as a podcaster of color, might not have heard about. And I'm like, oh, they have a new book out. Oh, this book is coming out. Oh, I've never heard of this book. And it even reminds me of books that, like Curvy Girl Summer, I was like, oh yeah, let me read that book because it's on my list. How can I put it? But certain readers this weekend literally bombarded this woman's posts and DMs and talked about her book so bad, said that she had no reading comprehension, that she couldn't read, she was a horrible writer, that she didn't deserve to be writing, like how did she ever get published? They talked about her so bad that she deleted her entire Instagram account. Not close the comments, not close her DMs. She deleted it. You guys, it is perfectly normal for a certain author's books not to be your cup of tea. I mean, most likely it's somebody's shot of whiskey, but that's okay. And it is literally okay to disagree with someone's opinion of your favorite character and not bully them and not cancel them and not talk about them personally. And friends, of all the things to cancel an author over, when we literally have got authors out here admitting to faking their own autobiographies. I mean, another using her vast fortune to fund legislation against trans people, and you worried about canceling someone over a fictional character, it really is not that deep. I mean, folks really bullied this author. And wait, let's not forget that authors these days need a social media presence to help sell their books. So she deleted it off of the internet, even though I know this helps her. Over repeat, a fictional character in Ship War that is over 16 years old. The Hunger Games came out in 2008, which, if we think about it, is totally ironic since the Capitol's obsession with Katniss's love life, instead of, say, the child murder that was going on with these games, was portrayed as gross in the books. And yet, here folks are bullying someone over who they think a fictional character should have ended up with. A fictional character that would have thought they were weird and gross for the comments that they are putting on this person's stuff. I mean, make it make sense. There are so many problems in the bookish community. I mean, tagging authors in negative and critical reviews, bullying them about cover art and narrator reveals, and now this. I mean, people can't even express an unpopular opinion about a book on social media without their comment section turning into a mob. I mean, authors and people you don't agree with on the internet are human beings, friends, with feelings, and they deserve respect just like any other person that you would speak to in real life. And how about, instead of bullying an artist about a fictional character, you focus all that energy on, I don't know, all of that is happening in the world right now at this moment? I mean, human rights are at stake. And where you draw the line in the sand is that she is Team Gale. Like, really. I mean, I hate to keep saying this. I hate to use this phrase because it is one of my least favorite phrases, but go touch grass, touch dirt. Go get some fresh air. Please. We have got to do better. Please, friends. Okay, woosah. Woosah. All right. Now that I've gotten that off my chest and my rant is over for the day, because you just don't understand. First of all, she's one of my favorite authors, my favorite romance authors, simply because she writes books about women in STEM. And yes, some of them are formulaic. And yes, she also writes about vampires and werewolves. And now I'm into nodding, which I really hate, but I love it at the same time. Just like the whole thing where I hate age gaps, but now I like that book. She is that writer for me. It's harmless. It's easy. It is, frankly, what we need in the world right now, when some of us are trying to escape the reality that is going on around us. But like I said, y'all too busy bullying the romance author rather than bullying the world that is causing human rights violations and stuff. But anyway, like I said, I digress. Let me move on. Let's switch gears completely. Let me get a sip of water. And let's talk about what I just finished reading, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm thinking about reading next. Because yes, I am that person who I continued my vacation when I got home and I read something else, because that's what I do. But let's start with what I just finished reading. I just finished reading King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. And guys, let's talk about this book. The premise. Roman Carruthers returns to his Virginia hometown after his father's suspicious car accident. He finds his brother Dante in deep with dangerous criminals and his sister Nevaeh overwhelmed running the family's crematorium. As threats close in, Roman, once a financial prodigy, offers himself and his skills to protect his family. While Nevaeh digs into the mystery of their mother's long-ago disappearance, Roman proves he's far more dangerous than the criminals expect. A gritty, fast-paced story about loyalty, buried secrets, and how far one will go to protect the ones they love. Because in the end, everything burns. Okay, let's start by saying this is not my usual book. I used to have a fascination with the Alex Cross series. I used to love those. I used to read Patricia Cornwell, stuff like that. So like crime adjacent, but not really, really gory, not really, really blatant. Like it was some stuff happening, but it was due. But this was gory. It was violent. And it was riveting. I could not put this down. I could not stop listening. I literally had to stop at about 75% and go buy the book because I had to finish it, and I read faster than I listen. Oh my God. I knew this was a 5-star read when I was 50% through it. And the way I wailed and screamed through the last 25% of that book needs to be studied. I mean, oh my God, guys. It was a masterpiece leading us to the conclusion that had me like, oh my God. I literally, when I finished the last line, I first of all, the last chapter, my mouth was open because the chapter before that had devastated me, had bombed me. But I sat there after reading the last line for a good 5 to 10 minutes, thinking about how it all came together and just thinking about it. 10 out of 10, y'all. No notes. I mean, I know books have 5 stars. I would give this 50, 20, 100 if I could. Go get it now. If you go to your library, it's gonna be a long wait list. This might be that book that you might want to just go on and buy. I hardly ever say that, but guys, go get it. Is so good. I cannot wait until next weekend when he is here in Atlanta and I go and he gonna sign my book and I have words for him. I have thoughts. Anyway, let me move on. Let me gather myself back. I am currently reading a fantasy novel that is third in the series that I started last fall and just never finished. I don't know why, because it was really good, but I think I was reading too many things at once and this just fell off. Anyway, it's called The Fate of the Sun King by Nisha J. Tuli. Like I said, it's the third book in the Trial of the Sun Queen series. I think that is the name of the series. Anyway, there are 4 books. So this is the next to last one. And the 4th book is already out. It came out in December, which was why I was trying to read it at the time. But I just couldn't keep up. The holidays just took me out. But I feel like I needed a palate cleanser between King of Ashes and all the romance books I read, even though this one is a romantasy, but it's one of the good romantasies where it's, well, I say it's fantasy forward. Yeah, it's more fantasy forward or plot forward than just the romance. Like the romance is a heavy factor into the books, but there's also so much else going on, and that's what makes it good. Yeah, so that's what I'm reading right now. I just started it yesterday, so I'm like, no, I just started this morning, to be honest. So I'm maybe like 15% through. I'm on chapter 3. And my next read will most likely be Broken Country by Clare Leslie Hall. It arrived from the library along with The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. I think I have 2 weeks to finish it. Let me see. Oh, okay. It's due back July the 2nd, and it cannot be renewed. Neither one of them. But I think I'm going to hold off on Ghostwriter because I think it's going to be a little suspenseful and horror filled, and it's about murder. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just read Broken Country. It's more literary. It was on my summer reading list in the literary section. So let me tell you what it's about. In Broken Country, Beth's quiet life with her husband Frank begins to unravel after a gunshot kills a dog, one that belongs to Gabrielle Wolfe, her first love. Gabrielle's return to the village with his young son stirs painful memories of Beth's own tragic loss and reignites old feelings. As past secrets resurface and tensions escalate, Beth is drawn into a web of jealousy, grief, and unresolved passion. With a village on edge and her past colliding with her present, Beth must confront who she was and who she wants to be. A gripping blend of love story and slow burning thriller. So, like I said, part literary, part romance, part thriller. Like, did someone get killed? I don't know. I do not know, and I like it that way. But it's on my, like I said, it's on my summer reading list and in the literary section. So I will update you when I finish this one. It will be before July 2nd because I got to take the book back. Because I'm trying to stay in the library's good graces because I do tend to bring them back late, and someday they're going to stop letting me get all the books. So, anyway, okay, friends, that is all I have this week. If you love this episode, do me a favor and make sure you follow the podcast so you don't miss the next one. It's free. It helps the show. It helps us find bookish friends and it keeps your TBR interesting. As always, you can follow me personally on IG and TikTok and on my at LaShawn Wilts and on my Substack at Letters to LaShawn. Okay, friends, thanks for listening. Be kind, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.